All right, Origins 2017 here in Columbus, Ohio. We are at the Meeple Realty booth. We've got Lee and Tommy. These are the two guys that are making custom wooden inserts for all of your games. This is your guys' second year here at Origins.
Yep. Second year.
And you know, last year I visited with you guys, and you've moved forward, so they kind of put you in with like the cool kids now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
We're not the redheaded stepchild anymore.
Yeah. So for people who may not know about Meeple Realty, give us a little bit of information about what you guys do.
Okay. Well, we make custom wooden organizers for board games. And we hate to use the word organizer because we try to make things more a little bit more thematic for the game. This is one of our newest releases.
Okay, so this is for Anachrony.
Now this this wonderful game from Mind Clash Games, has a lot of components, a lot of organization that's involved with it. What we try to do is we not only make things organized from you see here, we try to make things a little bit more thematic. So for example, you know, we have this kind of tray here specifically for the miniatures here. These are professionally painted. We don't paint these, but we have these professionally painted.
They just slide in the little notches and hold them all in place.
And they just slide into the notches there. And all the components have their own little space. For example, in these little tiles here, you can actually take this tile and kind of close it up, and now you can kind of see exactly what you're working with. We have a little hinge system here that what you use to kind of just open that up. And the most important thing here is that everything fits in the box and everything sits nice and flush. That's what we like. You know, obviously we have a very discerning customer base, and we want to make sure we accommodate everybody, but those who want the box to sit nice and flush, this insert will totally do that for you.
Right. You guys have a whole plethora of stuff here. We've got Terraforming Mars.
Our Terraforming Mars, we actually equip it with a first player marker. We thought that number one, let's do it this way. Would you rather this or this?
Yeah, we want the rover.
Exactly.
We want the rover.
So on top of that, we make sure our product actually useful. So in this particular case, all of this cube, usually if you play the game, you know how hard it is to keep the cube in place. If you don't memorize it and somebody bumps the table, everything goes away.
So this is different than some of the other overlays. This actually lays in and it's like the player board is sandwiched in between.
Yes,
so nothing's moving at all.
Nope.
Okay. Which that's a pretty smart design.
Well, we usually tend to make sure the design makes sense. In this particular case, we use a lot more expensive material, this plexiglass, just to make sure we maintain all of the artwork from the original game. Because the last thing we want is to make sure chains like basically ask you to throw away certain components of the game. We try, most of the time we try our best to make sure everything fits inside the box and then everything has its own place. Just for example, in this case, Anachrony, it comes with the two separate resources tokens. One is the cardboard, the other one is the cube. So technically speaking, I created the tray so you can swap it out. Like, hey, if you like the cardboard, you can take all of the cubes, put it in the box, swap it out with the cardboard.
Okay. So I've asked you off camera before, your biggest seller and probably one that's like one of the hot games right now, Gloomhaven.
Absolutely.
So let's see what you guys do for this particular game, because I think I don't own Gloomhaven, but I think there's a lot of stuff in there. It's a big, huge box. So
this is the box for Gloomhaven. There's a lot of stuff in this box.
25 pounds worth of components.
25 pounds. Okay.
Right. So what we've done is we've taken everything, most everything in here in terms of components wise, and put it in this insert right here.
Okay.
As you know, it's part of a legacy type of system, and we try to make sure we keep that kind of inherent. So what we've done is most of the characters, or all of the characters, we've kind of put in there.
Okay.
And so that it kind of still keeps the mystery of the game.
Because the game is legacy, just in case it, for those who doesn't know, like you're supposed to open certain characters at a certain time. So we keep everything hidden, including all of the cardboard and the cards. Make sure it has its own place, so you can still maintain the secrecy of the game.
This is like a little crate here that's going to hold everything.
Absolutely. Now this is your token tray here. What you do with this token tray, once you take off the cover, from here, once you take that off, is you take this, and you actually pop this out a little bit, and you have your own little mini tray. We have our little kind of edge here, so you can kind of
they've done used bendable wood. This is something they've been doing before. It makes it easier to scoop things right out.
Right. Now, the other cool thing is that, like, of all the monsters, everything is in this little container here. and there's a little key here that allows you to look at exactly which monster you're trying to get.
Yep.
And to get these things out, you have little finger holes on the bottom here.
Oh, nice.
To be able to,
there you go.
To be able to go ahead and pop those things out.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously here we also have our map tiles, as well as over here the map tiles. Now the best price, the best thing out of this whole insert is the fact that it sells for $60.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't think you can beat a price like that for exactly, you know.
Not for this much wood, and for all we know, for what people have been paying to get their hands on a copy of the game, to be able to organize it, and with this much stuff, I think it takes a lot of setup time, and you're eliminating it, because a lot of this stuff you can just put it right on the table. You're not taking out baggies and opening stuff up. It's like you can take it as you need it.
Yeah.
And that's
if you know, I don't know if it seems that a lot, but this actually literally takes 16 square foot of wood, like all of this.
okay.
So it's quite a bit of wood, and we try to keep our price competitive and make sure the product is functional. And then yeah, I mean, from what I heard, people that play this game a lot, it actually reduces setup time to like 10 minutes versus 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh wow! So now that's extra time that you could be playing.
Absolutely.
And then it has 80 scenarios, so 80 times, like the time saving is about 20 minutes. 80 times 20 minutes, that's hundreds of minutes.
Yeah.
Is that hundreds of minutes worth the time for us to help you out to set the game up for you under 10 minutes?
Right. So a couple other things that they have at their booth this year. We've got insert for Keyflower. You've seen that before. Trajan down on the bottom, you've seen that. We've shown that off before.
There is a few other prototypes we're working on. We have Zaya over there.
Oh yeah, let's go take a look at. We're going to take a look at Zaya over here. They moved it. We've got.
So Zaya here is kind of halfway prototype, because we are working directly with Cody from Far Out Games. So he's nice enough to send us the components for the Kickstarter expansion. So we actually have maybe one of the few that have all the base and expansion at this point.
Oh, nice.
So, for example, for those who doesn't know Zaya, it actually has different tier of ship. So what we decided to do, we come up with level 1, level 2, and level 3 ship container. And then what's cool about it is we can actually open the bay and then boom. So you can set it right next to the table and it's ready to go.
Nice.
And that's one of the twists that we like to do. Try to make sure it's like, hey, we could have just easily make the tray and then make it simple, but hey, we would like to impress our customer and make sure they're paying our unique design, and then make sure the game is actually thematic.
Right. So there's a couple other things here. We've got Feast for Odin down at the bottom with the hammers.
Yep, with the axis. And then if you take out the axis, it's actually all there is, or the coins.
That's pretty cool. We've got Yokohama with the boats.
Right.
This will accommodate, obviously it's going to hold the deluxe.
Right.
The deluxeified version with all the wooden pieces.
Every player has their own little player tray, and it keeps
this is
all the
pretty cool.
components
Nice.
in their own little section there too, because instead of putting it on this card and having a jostling problem, it's all kind of kept together in their own little compartment.
And then this is set up so it's ready to play. So as soon as you take all the components out of the box, what color do you want? Yellow? Here you go. And then let's play the game. Nice. Yeah. And then on top of that, we have a 2 resource boat that we actually take our time and make sure we do like each individual pieces, so it actually curves just like a boat.
Oh, that looks really good. So yeah, so these guys are doing like really like custom inserts with lots of really cool things, remaining functional and all that stuff. They got some other stuff that's coming up, that's working on. Got a chance to see some things, pretty exciting. So you guys are definitely, if you're looking for time saving, making the games look cool and having those functional inserts, where can they go, Lee?
MeepleRealty.com.
All right, and if you guys are on Facebook and you're a member of the board game group, Tommy is over there a lot of times. He's sharing information, so you can hook up with him there too. So a couple different spots to meet up with these guys. So all right, man, so thanks for your time, and again, this is a lot bigger booth than last year. They're growing, and so anyways, all right, man, so thank you guys, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.